This is episode 1 of Bottom Feeder Chats. I'm Alex.
And I'm Chris.
We're going to try something new with this one. Just kind of talk about different news stories throughout the week that have caught our interest, just kind of on the side from the cinema series. So first story that we're going to talk about today is Tulsa police arrest a woman for mixing chemicals to make meth inside a South Tulsa Walmart on Thursday. Elizabeth Alicia Greta Half Moon, 45, also known as Alicia Half Moon, was arrested for endeavoring to manufacture meth at the 81st and Lewis store. Police surveillance video shows she'd been in the store since noon. 6 hours later, security noticed she was acting suspicious, so they called Tulsa police. Responding officers say she claimed she was too broke to buy the chemicals.
So she not only was making the meth in the store, but she stole the chemicals from the store?
Right. I mean, they have limitations on how much of the different ingredients you can buy because they know they're used for this stuff, and I know they track it. But she wasn't even able to purchase the stuff in the first place, just to take it home.
So she just stayed. This is kind of a gutsy move. Like, she has some cojones on her to actually sit in the store, not only steal the chemicals, but then make the meth there in the store.
And I actually have to give her a little bit of credit for this because that's pretty ingenuitive. I mean, if you think about it, she obviously knew the recipe of how to make methamphetamine. So this goes beyond like the level of your standard tweaker. This is a woman who's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own business enterprise. I have the entrepreneurial spirit. I'm going to go make this meth on my own. Like, screw the system.
I've seen on TV before, though, there are ways to make meth pretty simply. Like, there's the setup where it's like a whole science lab almost, but then there's also a setup where you can make it in a Gatorade bottle.
Right, or like a bathtub or something.
Yeah, but it's still pretty noticeable because from what I hear, you can smell it, and seeing a lady walking around shaking up a Gatorade bottle that has these weird colored chemicals in it, it would be pretty easy to tell. So
I'm just trying to picture how this lady did this in the Walmart store. I mean, hanging around for 6 hours, like pulling different medications and cleaning solvents off the shelves. And where did she go to make this shit?
Probably hid in the middle of the clothes racks like kids do. Like she was just in a tent almost.
In October, Glenn Reese, this is another person separate from the woman, was arrested at the exact same Walmart because he had a backpack containing what police called an active meth lab.
Oh, boy.
So that's like mobile meth lab to the max, a backpack meth lab.
And I bet you when they were done making the meth, they were probably going to sell it to employees and customers in the store because obviously there's a meth problem in that part of the...
You can buy, don't ask me how I know this because I'm not a drug user, but you can buy snuff kits for cocaine online.
Yeah.
It's a little like compact that opens up with a mirror on it and the razor and everything and the little fancy straw to snort it. And you could go ahead and market these meth backpacks. I think that there's a market in that.
That would be.
Because the way they get away with it with the snuff kits is they say it's not for cocaine. They say I forget what they say it's for. They say it's for something else that's not illegal. So you could market these meth backpacks, manufacture them, and say, oh, it's for brewing Kool-Aid at home or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a business venture waiting to happen in meth backpacks.
It's just like how they sell bongs and stuff as they say it's for tobacco use.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I've never heard of anyone using it for tobacco. Couple badly injured after naked bodybuilder attack. And what was funny about this one is when I saw that headline, the day before you had told me about Saints Row 3 and how there was a mission where you were in the company of a naked bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And I immediately told you that turns out maybe Saints Row 3 isn't as ridiculous as we first thought because this is happening in real life. Like naked bodybuilders are running around. Yeah,
and I'm playing this game going, this is absolutely absurd. This is over the top. And then you send me a news story that is effectively the exact same thing in real life.
So the news story says 22-year-old Ruben Arzu apparently was under the influence of steroids and other drugs, and it took 4 police officers, 2 stun gun blasts, and 4 sets of handcuffs to restrain him after he attacked a couple on their porch. The couple found him on their porch naked, and when the husband confronted him, the bodybuilder attacked him, which the story's funny on the outside. I mean, he did seriously injure the people. But it's still pretty ridiculous that it was a naked bodybuilder, and it took.
Imagine you like what time of day was it this at? Does it say?
It doesn't say. It says police say the couple came home late Saturday to find Arzu naked on the front porch of their home in Colton.
Imagine you're out to a nice dinner and movie date with your wife.
Yeah.
You go out and go see Muppet movie, have a nice Italian dinner, like Olive Garden, nothing too expensive.
And then you come strolling up.
You come home, getting ready for the events of the evening to unfold, and there's some naked dude laying on your porch, totally ripped and just probably like twitching.
They said he's 300 pounds and a bodybuilder, so that's a pretty big bodybuilder, because usually when you see him with those massive muscles, they're roughly in the 250, 260 pound range. So this man, being a bodybuilder and being 300 pounds, he's a big guy.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's just, you say, do we call the police? Maybe he's just drunk? Do I go tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, are you lost? But he goes up to the dude and
the guy just attacks him. Which you've heard of that. You've heard about that of people on drugs such as PCP, where
I was going to say, it sounds like somebody on PCP.
Yeah, where they just go nuts. And I mean, there's even an episode of Cops where you see that dude who's naked running around on PCP,
and it takes like 10 guys,
and he punches through a wooden fence like it's nothing, like it's made out of balsa wood. He punches through it, and you're like, what is this guy on? And it's because he's on PCP. So I do feel bad that the man and his wife were both injured. But on the outside, it's a pretty ridiculous story. And the fact that it took 4 police officers and 2 stun gun blasts, plus 4 sets of handcuffs to restrain him. And after he attacked the people that lived in the home, their neighbors came out and were trying to restrain him. So before the police got there were neighbors trying to restrain him, and then the police had to restrain him. And
it'll be a good story for the grandkids one day. Like, remember that when Grandma and I got attacked by the naked bodybuilder that was tweaking out on our porch?
Yeah, and he ended up being booked on suspicion of attempted homicide. So that's a pretty hefty charge, but obviously something needed to happen.
Tony Sirocco, Paul Sorvino, Jack Scalia, William Atherton, and Joey Fatone are to star in the new made-for-TV movie Jersey Shore Shark Attack, which will be on the SyFy Channel. Joey Fatone, is he a Backstreet Boy or NSYNC? He's from one of those, right?
I believe he was in NSYNC.
Is he the gay one?
No.
No, that's Lance Bass.
Lance Bass is, I believe Joey Fatone was in, I would have to ask my wife, but I do believe he was in NSYNC.
The cast of the small screen thriller will also include Jersey Shore reality TV personality Vinny Guadagnino.
I would just say Vinny because I can't pronounce
Vinny
his
from
last
the
name.
Jersey Shore will be in this movie. It's to debut on the cable network next summer. Synopsis says, Sirico, I don't know how to say this guy's last name. Sirico is Captain Sally, the wise veteran of boardwalk life and lore. Scalia is Moretti, former Guido beach bum and now police chief. Sorvino portrays the possibly corrupt mayor, and Atherton is the greedy developer Dolan, who wants to tear down the boardwalk to build a luxury resort where the Guidos will not be welcome. Vinny plays the on-scene reporter Conte, and Joey Fatone appears as himself.
So Joey Fatone is just himself in this movie.
A washed-up boy band star,
which
basically.
is pretty hilarious that he can poke fun at himself.
So this sounds like a recipe for the greatest made-for-TV sci-fi, or SyFy, as I call it now, movie ever. Because they have classics like, what is it, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus or whatever.
Something like that.
And like Nazi robot zombie movies and like really bad Wild West movies and stuff. Like the bottom of the barrel of terrible sci-fi, shitty made-for-TV movies. And this is a perfect fit. I wonder if the people involved in this think that this is going to be like a smash hit.
No, I think they have to know that it's just made to poke fun at everything, because you can't take that seriously. I mean, honestly, I don't think you can take it seriously.
Now, the Jersey Shore thing with this Vinny guy, is that reaching the end of its lifespan? I don't even have cable anymore. Is it still like thriving or?
Well, I think they're going into season 5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they are going into season 5 because season 1 was Jersey Shore, season 2 was in Miami, season 3 was back in Jersey Shore, and then season 4 was in Italy. And now they're going into season 5, which is in Jersey Shore again.
And this is still with the same people.
It's still with the same. Well, they've added one new person. They added a new person. Well, let's say they lost a person. Angelina, something like that. They lost her in season 1. She came back for season 2, and then promptly left again because nobody got along with her. And then in season 3, they added Dina, and she was in
scary
season 4
amount
too.
Of things about the Jersey Shore.
Well, I do watch it, and because I like it for the train wreck that it is, and I do happen to like Pauly D. I think he's funny. He's completely ridiculous, but he's pretty funny too.
So stay tuned to SyFy Channel for that gem. So, Chris, have you ever seen Pokemon the movie?
No, I haven't.
You have not seen that?
No.
I was, I don't even know how old I was. It was in like 2000. Yeah, 2000 that movie came. There's probably 50 of them now. But Pokemon the movie, I was, what is that, like 12 or something?
2000, we were in,
I was 12.
7th grade.
And I was so big into Pokemon. I mean, this is kind of at the tail end of when I was into it, but I saw the movie, thought it was like the greatest thing ever. But it just came out that, well, this is probably slightly old news, but Herman Cain, before he dropped out of the campaign trail, was using a quote from the Pokemon movie as like, I don't know if you would call it a catchphrase, but basically part of his speech. And there's this video on YouTube that overlays him quoting it with the line from the actual movie. I'll play this here.
A poet once said,
life can be a challenge.
life can be a challenge.
Life can seem impossible.
Life can seem impossible.
It's never easy.
But it's never easy when there's so much on the line.
Is on the line.
And he was interviewed after this. Now, I know that sounds spliced together. That's just so that it lines up with the audio. Those are not actual fragments of different parts of his speech. If you look it up separately, you can see that in sequence he says exactly the line from this like song. I don't know if it's an intro song or what.
So was that made specifically for the movie, or was
that was specifically written and made for the Pokemon movie?
Because didn't he say a poet once said?
Yeah, he said a poet once said. But somebody that caught this, some reporter or something, interviewed him after the fact, and he admitted, yeah, I drew my inspiration from the Pokemon movie. Like,
and when he was saying it, all I kept waiting for him was he was going to say, "Gotta catch 'em all," but he didn't say that.
But gotta catch 'em all is apparently his mentality, anyways, when it comes to women.
It is.
So I thought that video was kind of funny.
That was funny.